This video is 4 steps to finding inverse functions. You need to write down this slide. Step 1 is to replace the function with y. Step 2 is to interchange the x and y. Step 3 is to solve the equation for y. Step 4 is to replace the y with f inverse notation. Make sure you understand that to be able to do these 4 steps, it must pass the horizontal line test, which means it's 1-to-1. We have 2 examples we're going to do using the 4 steps on the previous slide. So we'll assume we've gone out and graphed this function. We've shown that this is 1-to-1. What it actually is, it's a straight line. It has a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of -5. So step 1 is to replace the f of x notation with the letter y. Step 2 is to interchange the x and y terms. So now this becomes an x. That becomes a y. Step 3 is to solve this equation for y. So I'm going to first add 5 to both sides. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And then I'm going to split up that fraction into 2 fractions. The last step is to remove that y and replace it with f inverse notation. Here's a second example. This is also a straight line. It passes the horizontal line test, so we can find its inverse. So step 1 is to replace the f of x notation with y. Step 2 is to interchange the x and y terms. So y becomes an x, and x becomes y. Now we solve this equation for y. So the first step is I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So first I'm just going to rewrite this step that we had above, and I'm going to multiply this side by 2 and this side by 2. The reason why I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 is to remove the fraction on the right side. So now I have 2x on the left and 5 minus 3y on the right. Now I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, and then divide both sides by -3. Now I'm just going to split up that left side into 2 separate terms. That negative turns to a positive. And now rewrite the equation with f inverse notation. So we replace the y with f inverse, and then we have -2/3 x plus 5/3. This is now the inverse of this original function.